On this edition of City Focus, we let citizens know how and why they should participate in the MDA boot drive. The police department gives us tips on how to avoid having your identity stolen. The state of Georgia celebrates Constitution Day, and we give you information on how you can participate on the final farm days of the year. These stories and more on this edition of City Focus. Hello, I'm Marcus Meconico, the media coordinator for the City of Valdosta, and this is City Focus, your source for information for what's happening in your city. Let's take a look at a few of the key topics that are happening in the city.
The Valdosta Theater held a fundraiser for the Valdosta Fire Department that would aid local burn victims.
All the proceeds will go to the Georgia Firefighter Burn Foundation. It's an organization that we support with the fire service, and what we do with these funds, we send it to the foundation, and 100% of the funds goes towards burn victims, where it supports educational programs in addition to providing a summer camp that all the children are able to attend every year.
Karen Root is a big supporter of the fire department because of the things she saw on September 11th, 14 years ago.
I was in New York for 9/11, so was my husband. I knew people who were in it and on the plane. So it was like, okay, this is something that we could really do to sink our teeth into. And then the more I thought about it, the reality of doing the play, what the play was about, my own experiences.
She really wanted to find a way to support her local fire department.
Our firefighters do so much for us. There are rescue people. They take care of us. They rescue us when we're in trouble. They rescue our cats, our dogs. They walk into the flames. When we're trying to get out, they're going in. We could really do something to give back to our firefighters. I know that there were people from Valdosta firefighters that came up to New York during 9/11.
Ruth says she would like to go back to a time where we all cared about each other as Americans.
It was just a way to feel good about ourselves, to feel good about a time when we all came together, when we weren't hyphenated, fractured, we weren't worried about who was marrying who or whether or not they liked this flag or that flag. And none of those firefighters thought about that either. And that's what, if anybody takes anything away from this today, it's support our firefighters. You couldn't thank them enough.
The Valdosta Fire Department would like to invite everyone to its 9/11 memorial ceremony on Friday, September 11th at 8:45 a.m. at Fire Station 1. The Valdosta Police Department wants to warn citizens about the dangers of identity theft.
People don't realize that stealing your identity, that's your entire life. If I steal your identity, I can get credit cards in your name. I can take out the equity in your home. I can take over your bank account, your savings account, your checking account. I can buy things in your name.
Citizens should always remain diligent because if your identity is stolen, it is a difficult problem to fix.
Once you're a victim, it's very hard to right that wrong. If anybody's ever been on the phone with a credit card company to dispute something, imagine you have not just a charge that you're disputing, a credit card that you're disputing.
Everyone should check their credit reports to ensure that you have no unknown charges or accounts.
And what you need to do is you need to check your credit history, your credit report, at least once a year. And you can go to www.annualcreditreport.com and you can get one free credit report per year. And when you look through those and if you start noticing there's problems, you need to call the police department.
There are other scams like phone and email that we should also be aware of.
Bottom line is if you think something's a scam, all you have to do is call the Valdosta Police Department You can speak with an officer. You can call the investigations division. You can tell them, look, this is the call that I received. What do you think about it? And the supervisor, the detective, will give you an honest answer. 9 times out of 10, these calls are scams.
If you have any questions, contact the Valdosta Police Department at 229-242-2606.
The Valdosta Fire Department is working with the Muscular Dystrophy Association, or MDA, for its annual boot drive.
The fire service has always been part of the Muscular Dystrophy Association and helping the kids and everything. And as a firefighter, your job is to make things better and help people. And this is just another opportunity for us to be able to help kids in need.
They'll be stationed at Walmart on Norman Drive and Inner Perimeter Road and the 3 Winn-Dixie locations in the city on September 3rd, 4th, and 5th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. The ultimate goal is to raise money for local kids to go to the MDA camp.
It's great to see the kids to be able to play and they're around kids that's got same conditions or similar to what they have, and they can be normal for once. Because in an everyday walk of life, they're in an abnormal situation because of what their conditions are. Oh, they love it. When they get out of the vehicle, their eyes just brighten up and they got a huge smile on their face. And when you pick them up a week later, they're crying because they don't want to leave.
The Valdosta Fire Department has helped the MDA for the past 60 years. Therefore, Mayor John Gale has declared September 4th, Fill the Boot Day. If you need more information, contact the Valdosta Fire Department at 229-333-1836. On September 17th, the state of Georgia celebrates its Constitution Day. Georgia, named for King George II of England, was one of the original 13 colonies and the 4th to officially become a state. The colony of Georgia was founded in 1732 by James Oglethorpe, and the port city of Savannah was the major city at the time. Here are a few facts you may not know about our home state. Before Atlanta became the state capital in 1868, Savannah, Augusta, and Milledgeville were all capitals of Georgia. The state's population was a humble 82,000 in 1790, and has ballooned to currently around 10 million citizens. The University of Georgia is the first university chartered and supported by the state's funds, and the state of Georgia is the top producer of peanuts, pecans, and peaches. Visit GeorgiaHistoryFestival.org to learn more about the historical events throughout the state.
Oh!
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
We have James Horton here, the city's Historic Preservation and Special Projects Planner. James, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about historic preservation. Why is it so important for the city to have this department, and what are the type of things that you do?
The city has the Historic Preservation Department to help preserve the historic downtown and the historic neighborhoods that surround the downtown that were originally built early on in Valdosta. And those areas are full of character and full of important architecture that's not being built this day and time. And so we want to preserve those areas and keep those for today and for future generations.
Okay. And how does a building or house become historic?
A building or house or structure or object becomes historic when it becomes 50 years old and it retains its character that it had when it was originally built. So if it looks very much like it was when it was built and it's 50 years old, then it is considered to be historic.
Okay. If a citizen purchases a building or house that's a historic value or a historic building, what steps do they need to do through your office to maintain that?
Well, Valdosta has what's called a local historic district, which is a geographic area that contains the downtown area and the surrounding historic neighborhoods that have residential houses in those areas. And that is overseen by a volunteer board of local citizens, and that is called the Historic Preservation Commission. Okay. And the Historic Preservation Commission is composed of architects and engineers and historians and teachers and people who are interested in history. And it's a board of 7 people. And we have an application process through the city that we go through, that the citizens that own buildings or homes in that area would come to us and fill out an application, and we would then send their project through the Historic Preservation Commission. And what the typical projects that we see are re-roofs to historic buildings, additions to historic buildings, and occasionally we see the demolition. But we hope we don't see a demolition very often because those are not what we're trying to do in the historic district. But we see a lot of rehabilitation of historic homes in the district. And the reason that we do this is because not everybody has the same sense of architecture and history, and people own buildings in the historic district. Sometimes they don't know what to do with them, and this board helps them to know how to treat the historic property in the correct way so that it retains its character.
Okay. And you talked about the local historic district. There's also the National Registry Historic District. What's the difference between the two?
Well, there are 7 different National Register historic districts in the city of Valdosta, and it works in conjunction with the local historic district. But the National Register Historic District is an individual area within Valdosta that has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places, which is overseen by the Department of the Interior in Washington, D.C. And that is basically an honorary listing. It means that this area has met the qualifications to be nationally recognized as an area that contains enough historic resources and enough significant architecture to be nationally recognized as a National Register District. And we have districts such as downtown is the Downtown Commercial District. We have a Brookwood North District, an East End District, a South Side District, and we have so on, and a Fairview Historic District. So they're all over the city. And those National Register districts are basically honorary in nature.
And now, the city is also a certified local government program for preservation. Tell me what that means and what that means to our historic districts.
The Certified Local Government Program is a program that is administered by the city. It means that the city of Valdosta has gone through the proper steps to designate a local historic district, to set up a historic preservation commission, and to provide a process for review when a building permit is needed in this local historic district. It means that the city of Valdosta has gone above and beyond what the requirements are for setting up a local historic district. So you become a CLG, a certified local government, when you go that extra mile to protect your historic resources. And CLGs, the one special thing that they have is a small amount of grant money that is available to CLGs only for some special projects within the local historic district.
Now, if someone was trying to obtain some of this grant money, what steps would they have to do?
The city is normally the applicant for a grant that would be given to a CLG. Anybody that's interested would need to come and talk to us and see if the project is worthy or if it meets the qualifications.
Gotcha.
There's a very small amount of money, and normally the city would take that money and use it for things like publications, brochures, things that would disseminate information out into the public, education and that sort of thing. Or they also might use it for a survey of historic resources, because within the local historic district we have to keep an accounting of the historic resources, the number of them, the ones that are contributing and the ones that do not contribute to the historic district, and the areas that are vacant in the historic district, so that we can keep up with it. And that's the way that we use some of that money, is to every once in a while go back and have a survey.
Okay. Well, if anyone has any questions about historic preservation in the city of Valdosta, who do they need to contact and where?
Well, they should contact me. I'm James Horton, the Historic Preservation Planner with the City of Valdosta, and I am in the City Hall Annex at 300 Lee Street, right in downtown Valdosta. And I'm available there Monday through Friday for people to come by and see me if they have any questions about their old house or their downtown commercial building or a rehabilitation project that they would like to do. And they just stop in and see me. You can email me, call me on the phone, or just stop in my office and we can sit down and chat and look at your project and see what we need to do.
We thank you for coming in and giving us this information, and we'll be back here on City Focus.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does.
And like that, you're a job creator.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
The last two farm days in the year are fast approaching. September 5th and September 19th will be the last chance you have to stock up on Valdosta's freshly grown produce. Vendors will be selling foods such as fruits, vegetables, herbs, farm fresh eggs, dairy products, organic produce, and of course, snacks and coffee.
Well, a lot of people have certain addictions they've developed over the season between nut butters and jellies and jams and different craft stuff, and it is your last chance to get them before our December market.
This is a chance to not only stock up on some freshly grown food, but also to help support our local businesses and funnel some money into the local economy. Farm Days will be located around the historic Courthouse Square at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And if you're worried about the vendors only accepting cash, don't be. They accept EBT, credit, and debit. For more information about Farm Days, be sure to visit this website, ValdostaMainStreet.com.
Mediacom Cable, where you are currently watching City Focus, is in the middle of upgrades in South Georgia. Mediacom is eliminating analog bandwidth, paving the way for high-definition channels and increased internet speeds. Customers with non-digital televisions need to receive a digital adapter or cable set-top box to be connected to older televisions in order to not see a change in their service. On September 15th, a final transition will occur to convert all channels 23 and higher to digital only, and on September 17th, new HD channels will be added to the lineup. For more information, contact Mediacom at www.mediacomcable.com/getdigital or call 1-800-479-2095.
The City of Valdosta would like to give citizens some stormwater tips to follow. Aim roof downspouts away from paved surfaces and into a rain barrel. Use a commercial car wash or wash your car on the lawn. Keep vehicles maintained to prevent oil and other fluid leaks. Minimize the use of lawn chemicals. Plant trees to increase water absorption. Pick up trash and pet waste. These tips will lower pollution and prevent an overload of water from entering our stormwater system. For more information, contact the Stormwater Division at 229-259-3530.
Thursday, September 10th, Moody Air Force Base, the Valdosta Lowndes Chamber of Commerce, and the Georgia Department of Labor will be hosting a career expo at the Moody Airmen and Family Readiness Center at Moody Air Force Base. This expo is open to veterans and their family members, active duty personnel, military retirees, National Guard and U.S. Reserve units, and all vets with active registration with the Georgia Department of Labor's Valdosta Career Center. The event participants will include local governments, including the Valdosta Fire Department, and many private businesses. Job seekers are asked to bring resumes and dress appropriately. For more information, contact Tony McKenzie at the Georgia Department of Labor's Valdosta Career Center at 229-333-5211. You're currently watching City Focus on Metro 17, but there are other ways that citizens can find information about the City of Valdosta. The city's Public Information Office will soon be releasing a new issue of City Beat. City Beat is a newsletter posted on the city's website at www.valdostacity.com. In each issue, citizens will find information about the city's services, programs, and events. The newsletter is designed to inform citizens about their local government. For more information, contact Public Information Officer Samantha Matthews at 229-259-3548. Now let's take a look at what's taking place in the city in the coming weeks. September 4th, First Friday in historic downtown Valdosta. September 5th, Farm Days around historic Lowndes County Courthouse from 9 to noon. September 7th, Labor Day holiday. Monday garbage pickup will be garbage only because of the holiday. September 8th, City Council work session at 5:30 in Council Chambers. September 8th, Historic Preservation Commission, 5:30 in the multi-purpose room. September 10th, City Council meeting at 5:30 in Council Chambers. September 19th, Farm Days around historic Lowndes County Courthouse from 9 to noon. September 24th, City Council meeting at 5:30 in Council Chambers. September 28th, in the Greater Lowndes Planning Commission, 5:30 at the South Health District Administration Office. To stay informed of what's happening in the city, sign up for the weekly e-news blast at valdostacity.com/public information or call Public Information Officer Samantha Matthews at 229-259-3548. We just heard how the Valdosta Fire Department feels about the importance of remembering the events of 9/11. The city would like to invite all citizens to the memorial ceremony being held at Fire Station 1 at 8:45 a.m. Friday, September 11th. This is a day for all citizens to show their appreciation to the many hard-working first responders serving this city. This concludes another edition of City Focus. Be sure to visit our website at valdostacity.com/Metro17. Like us on Facebook, Valdosta City Without Limits. Follow us on Twitter at City of Valdosta, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Metro 17 Valdosta, to see past shows and stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you here next time on City Focus.